What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so already knew this was going to happen. So the Democrats, aka the Democrips, they're already pressuring black voters uh, to vote for Kamala, just because, as they put it, she'll be the first black woman, even though this woman has never identified as a black person, at least not in her major political life. Maybe earlier, I don't know, but she's never identified as a black woman until it became politically expedient for her. But they're putting the full court press on black people to vote for her, and you got all these surrogates out there: Joy Reid, Roland Martin's another one. Um, all of them out there now. If you don't support her, then you ain't black. We're gonna look at you funny. You're gonna be isolated over there, because they think, and to a certain extent it's true. A lot of people, the worst thing that a black person can feel is if they're being shunned for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like if they are being told that they're not doing something that is in the best interest of black people. You know, they pick up on that a lot of people out here are always calling someone the CON term. A lot of times it's not even being applied correctly. But at the same time, me saying this about the Democrats, Trump to me is not the answer either, because none of these parties, none of these candidates are talking about doing something that we are talking about, which is reparations. If any one of these candidates start talking about reparations, uh, you know what I'm saying, an actual real hate crime bill that's specifically made for black people to protect us against police officers and corrupt judges and all of the like, you know what I'm saying? Um, Real reform when it comes to the overall criminal justice system, inequality in the inner cities when it comes to schools, which is by design, just the overall system being biased against us. Until they start putting that stuff as a priority, I don't advocate voting for either one of these clowns. But this is something I do want to get to. From a historical perspective, all of our black leaders are real black leaders, not these plants. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Marcus Garvey, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Scores of others. They've always, the real ones, they've always put their people before a political party. If you look at all of these leaders I've named, the majority of them never advocated one party over the other. And when they did finally advocate one party, it's because that president actually promised real tangibles for black people, like LBJ. They never, ever, never wanted their people to just be a slave to a political party. That's the last thing that Dr. King and Malcolm X and the other people I mentioned wanted. The number one priority was for the uplift of their people, not to be beholden to a party. So it aggravates the hell out of me when I see all these so-called black leaders and militants pretending like they have their people's best interest at heart, where some of these people I suspect are compensated by the Democrats really to just, you know what I'm saying, advocate Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm all for putting out stuff about both sides. But when you know what I'm saying, you advocate one party over the other in a slick way, eh, you know what I'm saying, you're part of the problem too. I mean, people can have their own opinions, but I'm not about, you know what I'm saying, oh, the Democrats are better than this party. Republicans are better. Nah. Both of them serve the interests of the haves, not the have-nots. Until that changes, nope. But yeah, all the great leaders, they, you know what I'm saying, they listened to what, some of these politicians put out there. And they didn't say, oh, just vote for Theodore Roosevelt because he's Republican, or vote for Woodrow Wilson because he's a Democrat. No, they went to these people demanding change, demanding that they do something in exchange for our votes. Because back then we weren't just a monolith. We actually, you know what I'm saying, we were flexible. If you were talking about doing some real change, we were talking about really doing different things which would lead to the betterment of our people, then okay, then we will vote for them. But we didn't just go out there and just vote, mindlessly for a political party without even knowing the issue. Sometimes they don't even know these candidates' full names. I've seen it. I've seen it when I voted, man. And I know you have too. People who just go to polls and just vote for the D. Just vote for the D. Don't know nothing, don't know what's going on, just voting. And I know people get mad about it, but when some of these voters were called low information voters, I couldn't really get mad. I got mad. I knew what it was trying to say, but at the end of the day, were they really lying? I remember back in 2000, what year was that? 2020? It might have been 2020. There was an actual Democratic candidate who was actually advocating reparations, and nobody supported him. All these so-called militants, all these so-called social activists for change. Oh, I don't trust him. What the fuck, man? So this is what we do now? So that's the excuse you have to just vote status quo, to be a slave to the party? You just, oh, I don't trust this person, but you trust Hillary Clinton, the biggest liar of all time? That's when I knew that people are just slaves to this party, bro. And the other side, they just delusional, thinking that Trump's going to do something for them. Like it makes you a thinker, or I'm a free thinker because I'm voting for Trump. They ain't going to do nothing for your black ass either. Now, I know people won't get kind of salty behind this video, but I mean, it's the truth. You can vote for who you want to vote for, but you know what I'm saying? Our real black leaders, they never advocated us supporting a party blindly. And I'm not talking about Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. I don't include them. You know what I'm saying? Now, Jesse did do some good things, but Al Sharpton, get out of here, man. But, that's what I got to say about it, man. Malcolm X never told us to vote Democrat or Republican. He warned us about both parties. And sadly, his warnings still are relevant today and are still going unheeded.